Today, we are looking at a creative fundamental technique called the palm spin. To begin, you'll want to find a corner of a ledge no higher than your waist. If you're having trouble with these progressions, try a lower ledge and then work your way back up to a ledge around this height. In this movement, you're going to have a plant hand that you rotate around and a push hand that's going to help propel you around the wall. If you're turning left like I am, your left hand is going to be your plant hand and your right hand is going to be your push hand. The first progression you're going to do is to do a tuck jump and pull yourself up onto the wall while doing about half of the turn and then coming back down on the other side. When I speed it up a bit, you can see my push hand is coming off as my hips are passing my arms and my plant hand stays on the entire time. Now, work on landing your feet closer and closer to the edge of the ledge, as our eventual goal is to miss the ledge entirely with our feet and land on the ground. Also, start speeding up your palm spin so you're bearing less weight on your feet and just tapping the top of the ledge. Notice that my plant hand is still staying on the wall the entire time. Once you're at the point of just tapping your foot quickly on top of the wall without bearing weight on it, now try to miss the wall entirely with your feet. The big thing to change between the tapping progression and the full palm spin is to kick your hips much higher and a little more over the top of your head. If your feet are missing the ledge entirely and you're landing facing the opposite direction of how you took off, then you're doing the palm spin correctly. But I want to look at a couple of common errors and then progress the palm spin farther than we've taken it so far. It's critical that your shoulder is directly above your plant hand. The most common error I see with this movement is I notice people tend to try to swing their hips really far away from their plant hand, and then it doesn't leave room for their knees to come through and they scrape along the wall. In this clip, I swing my hips away from my hand and I barely squeak my body over the ledge. But here, my hips rotate directly over my hand and I have plenty of room to bring my knees around and land nice and tall. We need to get that hip height because the goal now is to complete the palm spin as if the wall extends instead of palm spinning around the corner. To get to that point, it's just going to take a bunch of repetitions and practice of slowly moving your hips more and more over the top of your head as you rotate, really making sure that you're really strong on your plant hand to make it all happen. And once you can do it on a flat ledge instead of a corner like this, you can really apply it anywhere. And in this final version, you can see my hips are going so far over my head that it feels like an assisted flip with my plant hand. After you put a lot of practice into this movement and you really have it dialed down, you can start putting some variations in it with step faults or other movements. And I think one of the best applications of the palm spin is as a transitional movement in lines like this one. It's awesome to use for momentum redirection between two movements. Anyways, that's it for the palm spin. Get out there and start practicing.